There we go. Little sweet doggo. Damn! Yeah. Wait here for a sec. Come on. Okay, it'd be kind of funny if I just let this sit here long enough, the squirrel might come back. Let's see. Fuck it. No fucking way. What? Oh my god. Holy shit. Oh my god. Hey, buddy. I can't even grab my phone. There's a squirrel right next to it. Oh my god. Can y'all see? Damn it, how do I fucking grab the phone to show this? This is whack. Oh, that's so cute. Oh my god, that was so awesome. There was a squirrel right next to the phone the entire time. Watch. Oh. Right there, right there. See? Come on. Yeah. Hold on. Damn it. Fucking hell. Really? So cute. You don't see anything? Oh, they were up there in the tree. Now they're right there. They're all hanging out right over here now. And the crows came by. Crows are hanging out. Here, we'll give it another second here. This little guy's coming back. Yeah, this little fatty's coming back. Hold up. There we go. Okay. Yeah, do this really quick. Because I need to get my shoes on here really quick. But I'll try to gently put my phone right here so maybe y'all can see. Here. Man. And that kind of works. Yeah, that kind of does. That ain't gonna help. That ain't gonna help keep him closer. Come on, you little fat squirrels. Get over here. Damn it. Of course not. I guess not. Didn't have grown weary. Oh, never mind. They were right there. Little bastard. Look at that little bastard. Little fat ass. A little fat tail. Little bushy thing. So cute. Adorable little thing. Oh, sorry, bub. I just kicked you in the face. You silly thing. Don't do that to yourself. There we go. Oops, and I got vertical. Whoa. talking about? Why do you keep watching, like, weird conspiracy theorists, like, quote-unquote, disinformation documentaries, which are not even... Those are, like, mockumentaries, as far as I'm concerned. They're not even real documentaries, dude. Why do you keep watching shit like that? Because, you know they're fucking retarded. Dude, that's not how you do that. It's not even remotely close to how you do that shit. Watching some disinformation documentary that barely tells you anything factual at all. This is not how you know anything. That's how you become misinformed. That's how you become manipulated. You fucking become obedient. Like, that's the exact opposite, dude. Watching random documentaries that just say nothing but lies and bullshit, you know, because they're trying to fucking prop up their fucking agenda and narrative don't mean nothing. Don't learn shit out of that. So now we believe. You don't need to watch those things to know that. I know what they believe, and I don't expose myself to garbage like that. And my mind is frankly a lot more clear for it. Just getting this plugged in here. Like, I'd much rather be looking at actual, like, you know, papers or legitimate study and stuff like that more so than some mockumentary. 9/11 suicide job is a common one. That's like the easiest conspiracy theory to get into. Because, I mean, on a certain level, it was. I mean, honestly. I mean, if you want to kind of look at it, you know, factually and realistically, it kind of was. I mean, a lot of people think it's like some extra level of weird shit, like it's, you know, the fucking, like, Bilderbergs or the Jews or some shit, but it's not. It's not that insane about it. However, though, you know, our government was very much complicit and, at least I'd argue, partially, you know, in charge of that attack due to its moneyed interests with Saudi Arabia and Osama bin Laden and his fucking family of oil barons. And considering that George Bush had close ties, you know, and the Bush family had close ties to the Saudi family and, you know, the bin Laden family, yeah, it was, you know, a collaborative work. Like, 9/11 was a collaborative effort by the Bush administration and bin Laden and the Saudis. Like, there is evidence of that. Like, that shit's fact. Like, so yeah, there is truth, you know, to 9/11 being somewhat of an inside job. Now, is it like, you know, jets, you know, beams can't melt steel, whatever the fuck? No, it's not that shit. It ain't the weird Building 7 thing. It ain't shit like that. It's just simple business decisions. That's what it is. It was business decisions on how to maximize their profit and galvanize the American people into a whole war. The Iraq War and the Afghan War. The War on Terror. It was business interests. It was, you know, it was the interest of, you know, money and profit and the interest in the military-industrial complex. There's nothing really, like, strange or underlying about it necessarily when it comes to, like, the Anunnaki or whatever the fuck. It ain't that at all. It's a lot simpler than it seems. In fact, a lot of conspiracies are actually a lot simpler than they are made up to be. Not enough money in scam document. That's what I mean, dude. Like, you love Dinesh. I don't. The dude's a fucking Nazi. And literally never says anything truthful. Like, that's, like, exceptionally the point. You really think anything he says is true? You think anything he utters out of that fucking worthless, like, diuretical shit fucking orifice as his mouth, you know, is saying anything factual or correct? Nope. Anything he says, just assume that it's a lie or disinformation or not true or non-existent. just assume that whatever he's talking about, you know, is fake. Like, not fake, like, literally, utterly not real. Like, if he talks about an event, assume that event did not happen. Or just assume it did not happen the way he says. And just assume it happened the opposite way that he's talking about it. Because that's just Dinesh D'Souza in a nutshell. He's a propagandist. He's a fascist propagandist. His, you know, whole, like, career is, you know, fabricating events, or using certain events, or using people and using their ideas, or fabricating ideas, and literally just fundamentally just interweave, you know, a fascistic narrative of lies, disinformation, and propaganda to feed into people to say, this is what the enemy actually is, this is what we actually are, and this is how things actually is. This is what real history is, and this is what they aren't telling you, and blah, 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 blah. Pushes, conspiracy, he pushes for Jewish conspiracy theory shit, too, Dinesh. So, the dude's a fucking Nazi. Like, I mean, he's basically just like, you know, the equivalent of a Joseph Goebbels. Like, he is basically the equivalent. Like, he's a master propagandist, just as much as Goebbels was a master propagandist for the Nazi Party back in the day. Like, every fascist, you know, organization needs a fucking mastermind when it comes to this stuff. And to be fair, he ain't the only one. But he's definitely one of the more bigger names that people are aware of. Is pushing so I can push back. I mean, sure, but either way, like, the thing is, so, like, Dinesh D'Souza is not, like, where he should be focusing at. If anything, he's there purposely as a distraction. Do you really think he's going to be out there in the front lines ideologically? You know, in those battlefields? No. In fact, actually, these days, he's far away from it. Like, he used to be a lot more of a big name in, like, the mid-2010s and mid-2000s and shit, but he's not really as big of a name anymore. You know, it's kind of been somewhat usurped by other bigger popular names. Like, yes, like Matt Walsh, Candace Owens, you know, Michael Knowles. Like, you have these different people who have somewhat, essentially, whether due to populism or whatever the fuck, you know, like, I mean, you basically, you know, have, you know, people who are a lot more popular, or at least a lot easier to grasp when it comes to the lies and the narrative that Dinesh D'Souza is trying to push. But, like, you know, these people just, you know, from Knowles to Walsh, etc., they just have a lot better of a message when it comes to pushing that shit. It's more, you know, sellable with this absurdity. Well, that's kind of the problem with him a little bit. Like, he relies too much on lies. He relies too much on fabricating a grand story. And that's why he's a fucking idiot, and nothing, you know, like, well, he's not really an idiot. He's just kind of stupid, you know, to think that people are buying his shit anymore. Even his own fans, so to speak. Because he's, you know, he's like a big grand story fucker. Like, that's essentially, you know, like what he is. Like, he's like a dude that just straight up wants to fucking, like, you know, try to push himself, you know, to the top by spreading a big grand message and being a big bad grifter of that. But he's basically gone so far over the top of that, you know, he really, like, is not being sold that well. He's not focusing on the stuff that sells when it comes to the story. Culture war shit sells a lot. Random, oh, those damn Democrats stealing elections, blah, 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 blah. That ain't really selling as much anymore. Like, you have to hit the culture war shit, and Dinesh doesn't do that as much. He focuses more about the deeper, bigger picture, you know, which a lot of Trumpy, MAGA fascist types right now don't give a fuck about that. They think the bigger picture is in the culture war. This is a right-wing Asian dude, Aziz Ansari. I know of, like, a comedian actor dude named Aziz Ansari, but he's not a right-winger. At least not that I'm aware of. I know of, like, the comedian actor dude in Hollywood, but I don't know about the other right-wing Asian dude. Ansari. You mean Andy No? Ian Miles Chong? Which one? I don't know. I mean, there's a few right-wing Asians. There's a few of them. Andy No and Ian Miles Chong are the ones that kind of pop up the most. But, yeah. Well, to who? Chong? Ian Miles Chong? Oh, well, Okay, so what about him? I mean, he's just he's like the Twitter version of Dinesh D'Souza, but, you know, just Asian and also a Nazi. Like, I mean, there really isn't much different between Chong and Aziz. Outside that, Chong has got more, like, reach, basically. He's just got more reach in, on the Twitter sphere and stuff. But it's really not much different. Like, goddamn, I understand his Nazism. Well, yeah, because, yeah, that dude is literally ugly as sin. If there is any, quote, incel phrenology, that guy fits the bill. And even then, that's not true, because that motherfucker's, you know, apparently got laid and shit. He ain't virgin. So, even, you know, with that in mind, you know, incel phrenology don't make sense. You know, because even those motherfuckers could still get laid. Ugly as sin and all that shit. And also, he lives in Singapore, too. So, he wants to exacerbate the propaganda of the culture war in America, exacerbate stochastic terrorism and Nazism in the United States, lives in Singapore. So, he's a fucking agent. As far as I'm concerned, he's a foreign agent who's purposely trying to exacerbate instability in domestic affairs of the United States. So, for all I'm concerned, he should be tried as a fucking foreign agent and a spy. For trying to exacerbate, you know, fucking instability. We do that for Russia all the fucking time. Like, those damn Russians spying on us. It's like, do it for this fucker. It's like, what, do you think he's... You know, like... You know, what, do you think he's gonna be, like, somehow, like, you know, any different in that? Because, as far as I'm concerned, he isn't. I don't think he's an American citizen. I think he just straight up lives there. Like, he just straight lives in Singapore and shit. And if he is an American citizen, shouldn't that even be more of a reason to extradite him and get him back into our country and have him, you know, imported back into the United States so he can face trial? As far as I'm concerned. So, you know, either way, he should definitely be deported out of Singapore and fucking, you know, brought back to the United States. Where he can't fucking hide like a bitch. Is this thing he's deport? Yes, it's pretty much a strong authoritarian, like, fascist state. I mean, it's more of like a monarchy from my understanding, so it's not like outright fascist, but it basically is. Don't they execute homeless people in Singapore? I don't fucking know. Probably. I know at least in, like, in Singapore, or at least, I think in Myanmar, or at least, it might be Singapore, or, like, yeah, Myanmar, or whatever, or, like, Malaysia, I think. Whatever the country is outside Singapore City. Like, I know, at least, like, for all intents and purposes, like, I mean, you know, doing things like chewing bubblegum and stuff, while it's fine, you can't spit that out. Because there's unironically been a lot of, like, soldiers, too, funny enough, like American soldiers. Shut up! Hey! Shut up! Damn. Can't go off. Fucking roommate. Man. Oh, yep. No, Hong Kong people, they don't like being content, and they don't really want to join China. Well, I mean, it's okay. Well, what's that have to do with Singapore?
Fuck away.
And also, like, maybe they should take that up with the British, because the reason why Hong Kong is the territory that it is because the British colonized and owned it all that time. The reason why, like, if anything, like, China's trying to, like, get Hong Kong back is, unironically, because the whole contract and agreement between England and China at the time, you know, that was supposed to last, like, 100 plus something years. Like, there was literally a year time frame for it. Like, or some shit. There was, like, a time frame to where, you know, it will no longer be a part of the autonomous, like, you know, state for, you know, England, but then it will be its own city-state, and thus China can now essentially have claim to reassert its authority, and thus essentially be Chinese again. Like, Hong Kong was a British colony that was a Chinese village before, and now like they want to be their own separate thing because the British colonized them for like 100+ fucking years. I mean, it's just like I don't really know or really give a fuck about like this weird like identity about that type of shit. As far as I'm concerned, like that territory has always been Chinese. As far as I'm concerned, that's always been occupied by the British. So and honestly, I mean, same thing for Taiwan to a certain extent. It's like, yeah, I mean, at this point, they might as well be their own nation and shit. But, like, I mean, historically, if you look at what like what that place is, like when it comes to the Taiwanese island, like, Taiwan, in between Taiwan Strait and shit, like, the reason why the current Taiwanese government exists as the way it is, because that's literally the leftovers of the Kuomintang nationalist government during the Chinese Civil War. That's like literally the leftovers of it. And like a lot of that is due to essentially the Chinese Civil War not 100% totally ending necessarily. Like, because at least, obviously to China, to mainland China, it sees that shit is loose ends. Like, it's like, hey, we haven't totally finished this off. We still got remnants of this old conflict right here, and we want to, like, just have it done and out of the way. We don't want to have to worry about it anymore. I mean, and especially these days, there's a lot of fucking economics to it, too. Taiwan's got a lot of microchip production and all sorts of other shit there. I mean, it's not just, like, old historical claims as to why China wants Taiwan now. There's definitely a lot of shit, there at this point. Especially when it comes to tech. Taiwan still empowered to stay. Well, I know this, yeah. Korean Civil War is still something that needs to be finished. Yeah, that technically has been at an armistice, or like, or like a standstill since the 50s. Or unification with the South. I mean, I don't really know unless, like, something happens between, like, China, Russia, or North Korea. Like, unless something, at least in my opinion, happens either with that or the United States when it comes to the West/Eastern influence of, like, imperial spheres here. Like, at least for, like, both of the Koreas, just isolated from all that shit, I don't really know if that would happen. I mean, like, but if you consider, like, geopolitics, I mean, honestly, yeah, it would. I really feel like, these different places in the world, like North and South Korea, Saudi Arabia too is like another place, or fucking, like Hong Kong, all these other places and shit. Like, a lot of these places kind of rely on a sense of stability because of the current imperial powers that have a grab and a control over those regions because of their influence. Really think if U.S. North Korea will invade? That's not how the Chinese agreement with North Korea works. That's literally not how it works. China would not do that. China's a very strict type of agreement with North Korea, where if North Korea were to be an aggressor in any conflict or aggravation, or like starts the war, like North Korea and Kim, China is openly stated, especially to Kim, like, we will not help you. We're not going to assist you in anything. If you are attacked and we have to defend you, like, we'll abide by that with a defensive pact, but we'll not join you in an offensive war pact. Like, we're not going to join you with that, but we'll join you as a defensive pact. So even if the U.S. collapsed, they still have to deal with the rest of the West, UK, France, Germany, etc., Australia. You still got the rest of, the West. So what, you think just because USA ain't there, don't mean they're, ain't gonna have a fucking fight? Of course they are. And China would be fucking stupid to join in on that. That'd be bold enough to help offensively. No, they won't. China's way too calculative. Dude, you underestimate that, dude. China's way more smart, like, when it comes to imperialism. Why do you think China isn't doing drone strikes left and right? Why do you think they don't put boots on the ground every fucking place that they go to? Because they're smart. They actually know how to fucking, sell imperialism on a silver platter and have people eat it up. So, I mean, no, they're not going to do that. Like, they're not going to be bold enough to use their military might like that. They want that as a deterrent. That's why they always, try to flex their, like, shit. Like, oh, look at our new ships. Look at our new fancy planes. And look at our crazy equipment. Like, you know, they're using that as a way to try to deter, you know, an actual fight. Because, I mean, they got, like, the numbers game, essentially, where it's just like, you know, just throw a bunch of bodies at it. It doesn't really matter if their equipment works or not. Because, like, I mean, you know, that, like, if you have, like, billions of fucking people that you can essentially roster up in a draft or some shit and just throw them at the enemy, your enemy's gonna run out bullets before you run out people. Like, I mean, eventually. I mean, overwhelming odds on that one. So, I mean, they played the whole imperialist game a lot more smarter than we do. And we do it smarter than Russia. So what does it say about Putin? 100% certified moron, exactly. Because honestly, if he was smart with his imperialism, he just would have, like, put in a puppet in Ukraine or something. Will eat Taiwan if USA collapse? Well, they want to do that now. Like, basically the only thing that's stopping them from, you know, reclaiming Taiwan and shit is the United States. Like, not even ANZAC could stop that. So, yeah. So, I mean, with that one, that's just kind of a duh. At least to me. Japan's trying to get its military back. Trying to get its military back. And you know, frankly, I'm not one. Like, I get it, honestly. And honestly, like, I mean, I'm not, like, outright against it, but I do have, some worries about that. Especially considering how hyper-ultra-nationalist Japan is. Like, they are ultra-nationalists. Like, basically take, like, the most hick, racist, nationalist fucking redneck motherfucker here in America, times that by 10. Like, there's a lot of ultra-nationalism in Japan. Not everybody there is. Like, you know, I'm not saying, like, Japanese people are. I'm just saying, like, the culture and the government, like, social zeitgeist in Japan is very heavily, you know, pushed towards, you know, nationalism and, you know, patriotism and shit like that. Ever since, like, the Meiji period, really. Because a lot of that got established during that period. You know, when it came to, like, this nationalization of a state, you know, and the empire and stuff. Like, and a lot of that, you know, still kind of holds, you know, to a lot of people there. Not everybody, of course, but there's definitely, you know, a strong sense of that, you know, over there. And it, you know, makes me wonder, why do they have issues with, you know, like having younger people? Because they keep turning them away. Because they have very, very, very strict immigration policies and shit. Which, frankly, they could probably loosen up. And it would actually be a benefit for them. How such do you feel with people who enslaved their great-grandparents? I don't know. Like, how do you think Koreans felt during the Korean War? I mean, because there's probably some of that going on, too, if you think about it. Like, Japanese volunteer forces or some shit, you know, like, adjacent with American divisions or something. I mean, I'd assume. I mean, there's Japanese soldiers fighting in Europe alongside Americans and stuff. They never really let them go into Pacific Theater because they were worried that, oh, they might, you know, switch sides or something. So they made them go to Europe. And in fact, there's been some stories from the German side when fighting them, where they're like, holy shit, like, who are these fuckers? Like, I mean, a lot of Germans who had the misfortune to, you know, fight them in battle were just like, these guys are fucking fierce. These dudes are crazy a little bit. Like, I mean, because they were doing a lot of the shit that, you know, some of the Japanese would do, like bonsai charges and shit. Like, they incorporated some of that in their tactics, and it worked a lot. Very effectively. Scared a lot of Germans. And just like, oh fuck, 9! Love to go to Japan, but beyond this reminds me, you know, Jill even go there. let alone move to. Are you serious? Wait, they actually restricted, like, seriously? I never knew that, because I've thought about maybe just visiting Japan, honestly, just to visit. But did they actually restrict you over that? Like, really? Because, yeah, like, yeah, like, oh my god, open border your ass, Japan, fuck. Might have changed, but, like, as of 10 years ago. So at least as of, so pretty much, like, since, like, the 2000s, 2010s about, well, I mean, it might have changed, but oh my, dude, Japan's fucking, like, whack. It's so advanced in so many ways, but just needs to catch the fuck up in so many other ways. It's just like, damn, Japan. It's like, you truly are an enigma of a country a little bit. Really fucking, cool place, for sure. Like, a lot of cool stuff, and really rich of history and culture and shit, for sure, but, like, like, you still got shit to work out over there, guys. Like, y'all over there in the islands need to work some shit out. It won't be like, oh my fucking god, now what, dog? Dude! Hey! Shut up! Hey! Get over here! Here, come here. No. Get back over here. Okay, or at least you're distracted. Yes, you're distracted by this. Come here. Hey, no! Over here. Up here. Yes, be distracted. Yes. Be distracted and be in my arms. Yes.
Shut the fuck up! Copyright. Shut the fuck up!
Oh my god, look at him. Look at that tail go. Alright, you can go theme now.
Oh man, they're having an open house. They're having an open house. For the house on the corner?
Oh.
They all looked at me coming around the corner and they're like, does this little hellion live in the neighborhood? I might change my mind about buying this house. Bro, that house is probably going for fucking banks ass amounts of cash.
I mean, I don't think so. I mean, because the house that's just right down the street that's for sale is not even, like...
Yeah, but that's a nice... They did that house nice.
I know.
2 stories, plus a patio, garage, yard.
Yeah, I mean, they really did it up.
I was like, if you had like a before and after photo... Yeah, they really did that shit up nice. I'm not staying either. I just came to drop off that fucking death machine. I'm too tired.
Too tired?
I'm too tired, goddammit.
Oh.
This is day 147. I don't know, I've lost count on what fucking day it is. I work too much.
Well,
capitalism can suck my dick.
Well, quit fucking working and toiling away.
Nah,
have free time. Have free time to do whatever the fuck you want, cause fuck the man.
Yeah, fuck the man.
Fuck the me. Sometimes being able to... I enjoy sometimes being able to get a chuckle out of that bitch. I mean, it's not hard to get Harley to chuckle. Read out loud, I want Harley. Well, it's too late now. You wandered off into the void. What that void is, I don't know, but, it's the void. No, I didn't even... I was going for your real dad's old Facebook. He legit thought he was talking to Miley Cyrus back in 2018. What? 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 I'm talking to Miley Cyrus, dude. What the fuck? You kidding me? Oh, who am I kidding? Of course
I
not.
don't care what Tyler says. I'm getting rid of those 8 hangers. Those 8 hangers are kicking my ass. I hurt my fucking shoulder. That leg is fun, but is also very fucking
Dangerous?
demanding. I was gonna say demanding. It's not dangerous.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
She's so aggressive.
That fucking work.
Yeah, it did, I guess.
What? What, fuckhead? What? 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 Don't you growl at me, you bitch. I will show you dominance, motherfucker.
The account's deleted, but the message still exists. She never asked him for money. Apparently just nudes somehow. From a 50-year-old.
Who's asking for nudes?
Apparently, Venom's real dad, before he passed away, thought he was talking to Miley Cyrus on Facebook at one point. Back in 2018.
That's a fucking scam if I ever heard one.
Well, never asked for money or anything like that. Just wanted nudes. And I guess now Venom has apparently saw the Palooza that brought forth the Venom himself. And he unfortunately did not want to see that. And I don't blame you. I wouldn't want to either.
I would not want to see nudes of any of my family members. I'd rather go blind.
Gouge your eyes out with a rusty spoon.
No, I was thinking more acid. I was thinking more acid to the eyeballs.
Yeah, but they might not, like, totally, like, get everything. I mean, if you get a rusty spoon, you know, and, you know, like, it's perfect, because you, like, bloop, just pop it right out.
I don't want this to be painful for me.
Acid would be more painful. Because also, like, eat away at everything else that isn't touching your eye, and also, like, eat away, like, further than just your eye.
Yes, and it would be fucking rock hard. It'd be fucking metal. It would.
I mean, it would be metal. I mean, it'd make for a crazy-looking album cover for sure. You want to watch Air till you're a teen? Man, at least I never had to take showers with family like that. Oh my god. Well, I mean, that's not really totally true. I remember, like, some of my early memories, you know, like when I'm like 4 or 5 or whatever the fuck I think I did. But, I mean, I don't even really remember anything of it. So, why do, like, people do that? Like, honestly, like, I really, like, I don't get that. Because, honestly, I just find it so weird. It's like, alright, kid, you know, it's like, you're 6, you are capable of taking a shower on your own, you know, but, for the most part, at least, and it's like, but we're going to, you know, do that together now. It's like, what, like, I mean, you can't just at least observe or something, make sure that I'm at least getting everything or whatever the fuck? Like, make sure I'm getting the hair going and the whole shebang. Like, I can maybe get that if you're still like 5, 6, or 7 or something like that. But at a certain point, you don't have to be there. Like, you just don't. You want Shireless Forest? What the? Okay. Like, why? Why? Like, I mean, honestly, there's times where I'll, you know, go a while without showering. I'll be blunt. I've done that. Like, I mean, because, you know, I mean, it's not because of anything, really. It's just because, you know, I never would be like, oh, I'm gonna go take a shower now, you know, or some shit. It never really would just cross my mind until, like, it's like, don't really have many clean clothes. Better go do the laundry real quick. But before I do that, might as well take a shower, fuck it. It'd literally be, like, something like that, like, while I'm doing other things, like laundry or some shit. I mean, I'm better about it now. Like, honestly, the most I probably have gone without showering is, like, at most, maybe 1 week. But at this point, I usually do it every, like, 2-3 days. And even then, I don't necessarily, like, you know, get, you know, washed out of there every single thing. At least for the hair, like, mainly. Because you don't want to necessarily, like, shampoo and condition your hair every single time you take a shower. If anything, you want to do that, like, every other time. You know, because from my understanding, from, like, things I've read up about, like, if you do that too often with your hair, it does actually kind of damage it. So, I mean, not that, like, shampoo and conditioner is bad, but if you do it too much and do it all the time, every time you shower, then that's where it actually ends up not being as good. So, you know, I don't always, you know, shampoo and condition my shit. I might at least condition it a little bit, you know, even if I don't shampoo it totally, but I make sure at least it gets at least every other shower time. And also, at least for me, it's because my shit just gets way too floofy. Like, this shit will, like, plume up. It's also part of the reason why the sides are shaved, too. It's just because, like, when that would happen, like, everything plums up and just gets really annoying to try to control. So letting it kind of be worn in a little bit, you know, so to speak, and not wash it every single time I shower actually is better for me. And because it's always, you know, tied up in a knot or in a bun and stuff.
Today?
I don't know. It's just a topic right now I'm discussing. But, yeah, but like, you know, just because I have my shit all up in a bun, I'm always learning how to work and stuff. All, you know, grease and other shit is pretty minimal at my hair. The worst will probably be here, you know, like with this, but even then, not really. It's honestly bad if, like, on my days off, because usually I let it be down, and it gets around my neck, and then it gets being sweaty and stuff like that, and then the sweats soak into the hair, and that's where it gets kind of gross.
I know, I'm about to cut my hair off.
Again?
Yeah. About to fucking cut this shit off.
You're always bipolar with your hair. You're like, alright, I want it long again, and then you're like, ah, fuck it, I want to be skinhead bald, and then you're like, alright, I want it like a pompadour, then you grow it out to pompadour, you're like, I want long hair again, and you grow it out, and you're like, fuck it, I want to shave again.
Yes, it's the mood, didn't you know?
Sensory overload from the water. Careful!
Yeah, I wanted that.
It's sensory overload from the water? Really? It took me years to actually get over enough to shower like a normal person. Oh. Well, I know for, like, autistic people, like, it's, you know, sensory overload is definitely a thing. I mean, it definitely can be a thing for me. Not with water, though. It's more so with things like temperature, but I like hot showers. So, like, honestly, if I'm taking a hot shower, I love it. I'm like, oh. Yeah, I'm just like, alright, I'm gonna be in here for a minute. I hate cold showers, or, like, even lukewarm ones. Because I'm all like, you know, I feel a little tense and cold and stiff, and I don't like that. So,
I could go either way.
That's triggers from my understanding. Oh yeah, honestly, I would even extrapolate that further and say every human being, to some way, shape, or form, has like triggers. Autistic people just, you know, have either more triggers or more or more like expressive triggers. You know, when it comes to like sensory overload and shit like that. Like honestly, I'd argue that like every human being does to a certain degree, and autistic people especially. I mean, and it just depends, like, on how they deal with it and how, like, you know, I guess bad it is, I guess. Not that I'd say that it is bad, I'm just saying, like, you know, when it comes to severity about it.
How's there a total million bites apart on this property?
You used to think garbage trucks smelled good and roses horrible.
What the... I have one word for you. What the fuck is wrong with you? Garbage trucks are disgusting.
Man, dude, it's...
But then again, I'm over here as the guy who likes fucking... I love the smell of fucking gasoline.
Well, I don't mind the smell of it either. Honestly, that's a very common one. A lot of people, you know, kind of like the smell of gasoline. It's actually bad for you to be sniffing, but, like...
I don't sniff it.
Well, I
just work at a gas station.
Well, I know, but, well, the thing is, like, those fumes and aroma, I mean, as you're breathing that shit in. You might not, like, you know, be sniffing it directly from the source or whatever, but you're still kind of getting the contact, you know, aroma and shit.
I'm gonna take a battle here.
I would go around that time. Up to the boy. Good night. Well, that honestly is not, like, as weird as you might think it is. Because the Catholic nuns, you know, were fucking cruel people, and, well, Catholics in general are usually cruel people. And, you know, don't understand that you're just, like, doing what essentially that your parents probably did to you going to bed. Like, good night, you know, sweetie. You know, a little kiss on the face, and then, you know, like, you then off to your nap. Then the parents go do whatever the fuck, you know, doing some other shit. Or going to sleep themselves. So, it's just like, I mean, damn. I mean, it's like, it's not even that big of a deal. If anything, like, at least in a regular school, there would probably just, like, honestly, if, like, I were to do something like that at, like, you know, the public, you know, school that I was going to and shit, they probably would have pulled me aside and be like, why are you doing that? And I just would have probably given my straight answer, because, like, my parents do that to me, and, you know, it's, you know, wait, you know, wish them good night for a good sleep, and blah, 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 blah. And they'll probably be like, okay, well, you know, it's probably not, you know, something that, you know, you should be doing to other kids, unless they want you to, because you're not their parents, and blah, blah, blah. They probably would have explained it to me, you know, in a way that I would have understood and be like, oh, okay. And either I would have taken that and just not do that, or just kept going and not give a fuck anyway. You know, and then they would probably have to be a little bit more forceful to try to get me to stop. But being a little more forceful would not be doing a fucking beating for one. It'd be like, you know, having to, like, maybe pick me up and just like, okay, you're going over to the timeout corner or something. You know, so, I mean, it's, like, and frankly, it doesn't matter what a kid is doing, especially if they're, like, younger than 13, there's no reason to be, you know, laying hands on a kid, you know, when it comes to punishment, like, at all. Unless you're just merely, like, you know, taking them by the shoulders to, like, pick them up, or just, like, move them to, like, a corner to go sit them in timeout or some shit like that. Like, that is the most that should ever be fucking happening. You know, like, just to basically pick the kid up, be like, alright, to the timeout corner, or you go into your room, or here, I'm sitting you down here so I can, like, sit you across from me and explain this, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's literally ever far should ever go. It's just like, you know, to help make sure the kid doesn't just run off and fucking do whatever, or trying to do this or some shit, then you can at least, you know, keep their arms down from hitting you or something. Because, you know, kids have temper tantrums and shit, and making sure that they don't either hurt themselves or you is obviously, you know, a good thing. But you don't have to do that by fucking throwing a punch back or some shit. In fact, that enforces that behavior. Like, I mean, because they think, oh, this is how I, you know, resolve the behavior is by trying to hit something. Or hit a person. It's like, no. So if you want a kid to not be doing shit like that, don't do corporal punishment. Like, because it's dead ass, and there's literally studies on this, it dead ass enforces that type of behavior. And also, there's a lot of reasons why kids do a lot of bullying, especially physical bullying, because usually it's because their parents, you know, were doing that to them, and they think that's okay, so to speak, and that's how they learn to deal with problems. And basically, you know, bounce that down and have that snowball effect go down to other kids that are at the school and shit. Be fucking me, send me home after that one. That's what I got pulled out of a particular school. I went to school in junior high and everybody else moved for about several times because I was a behaviorally maladjusted child. Oh, yeah, because that's how you fix, you know, behaviorally maladjusted children, is literally beating the shit out of them. Never, have never, and will never tell mom about it. She doesn't need extra stress. I mean, it's, like, I mean, I don't know, maybe not now, but I feel like, you know, she probably has the right to know what, you know, what happened. Like, if they're, like, when it comes to the whole, like, you know, parental rights thing about, like, you know, schools and shit, if there's a school doing shit like you were just saying, a parent absolutely has every fucking right to know that shit, 100%. Obviously, there's, like, statute limitations. I mean, I'm sure schools can't be punished for it, but frankly, honestly, they probably could. Because what, you don't think they're still doing that? Because they absolutely probably fucking are. It's Alabama, for fuck's sake. They're backwater. Nevertheless, I mean, not like one's better than the other, but, I mean, sure, I guess that's, you know, good, but but getting beat doesn't really make it any better. Yeah, this horrible thing that I could have had happen to me, you know, growing up didn't happen to me, but this one horrible thing that happened to me did. It's like, cool? It's like, those some kids that were. Well, what about me then? Because I'm the same boat. I never had corporal punishment in school, thank fuck. Or, you know, being touched or anything. But I've known kids that have. I mean, not the corporal punishment thing, but, you know, being touched and shit growing up. So, by that logic, shouldn't that lie? Blow politics into reaching, and that'd be bad for their image. Oh, fuck their image. I hate that fucking, oh, we need to protect our image and our family image and blah, blah, blah. It's like, fuck you. If, like, you know, my trauma or, like, you know, my, you know, the harm done to, you know, somebody, you know, matters far less than your fucking image, then go fuck your image. So, like, I hate that shit so fucking much. At that point, you deserve to have your fucking image tarnished. I hate that shit so much. Because that is the reason why abuse, you know, continues to reciprocate. It's because, oh, we don't want our image in the community tarnished because someone in our family, you know, was abusing a kid or something. It's like, fuck off. Like, you know, if you really want to defend some abusive piece of shit like that, then one, yeah, you deserve to have that image tarnished, and two, you're really no better than them. You might not be doing, you know, the abuse directly, but you're enabling it. So what the fuck? Like, no. That shouldn't be allowed or accepted.
Should be accepted, man. I don't even know what the fuck he's talking about. Just came in blind.
As you usually do. Blind as a bat.
Nah, this is true.
You shocked how much people used to gossip in the lunchroom?
No.
No. Because...
high school?
Well, yeah. Well, not just high school, but like middle school and elementary school too. But guess what? That happened too for me. Let's just say you know for a fact the Arab City police chief was a card-carrying Klan member and his daughter was R-worded multiple times. I'm assuming probably by the fucking Klan too, a little bit.
You going to work or no?
Yeah, I got work in a minute.
Peace, motherfucker! I'm out of here.
Alright, man. Well, you don't want to wait a little bit until I leave? I ain't gonna be here that long. Oh my god, just giving me a pouty face. It's like, what, I can't leave yet.
Real bitch, boy. Little cock-looking whore. Always streaming. Never.
Well, I mean, goddamn, it ain't... Maybe you and I should have a day off, you know, we're at Alliance, and I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Day off? The fuck is that? This is fucking America. They work until you die. And if they can find a way to fucking...
Make you work younger, they will, and they are.
No, I was gonna say if they can make you... If they can find a way to make you work in your grave, they would do that too. And they're
trying to make it so you can work in the womb. Alright, well, you got a heartbeat and you're in the womb. Alright, pick up that little fetus-sized, you know, pickaxe and start going into mines, little damn zygote.
Somebody, and then somebody really thought about it at my work, and they're like, you know what, you're right.
And also, yeah.
Kids are so in a hurry to grow up, and then you grow up and you're like, no!
Well, it's not just that, but also, like, our system and our culture is so built around that, because, like, you know, it's always, like, you know, quick, on the go type of shit, and basically having to, like, you know, struggle to make ends meet, and, you know, trying to, you know, get, you know, some of the most basic shit in life, basically.
Man, like, I mean, if I could go back and smack myself as a kid for even uttering those words, I would. We're like, no! Enjoy this, because when you're an adult, you're fucking miserable.
She legit, he's crying best his shoulder at lunch all the time, but no one's sit 2 seats down from him, heard him perfectly. Fuck, dude. This is why Reconstruction needs to just be brought back, because, like, that blighted fucking backwards shit needs to just be done with.
I have no
like,
nor do I go. What are you looking at? It's just a tire, you dum-dum.
He's curious. Look at that little tail go. He's all so excited because he's seeing you.
I want to smack him with this head tire.
Oh, what do you ever do to you?
Everything.
He's a sweet boy.
His pure existence is hell.
Well, he raises hell. I mean, he's a little hellhound. Aren't you? You're a little hellhound, aren't you?
Yet again, everyone's existence is hell.
You know, the mayor's son is using his father's position to avoid takes nepotism and corruption. Gotta love it. And the reason a dear friend of mine died in a horrible ass car crash. Wow. It's just Alabama, like a mafia, fucking corrupt clan state. Ah, who am I kidding? Of course it is. Dude, Alabama's a shithole. Just be happy that you're gonna be out of there soon.
I ain't even saying that for months.
Well, it's actually, you know, solidified now. Like, things are actually in the works. Like, they should be able to get out of there by June, last time I was hearing about it.
Oh, they actually make a date?
Well, yeah, I mean, well, it's because, a lot of it was because, like, I mean, his step-douche, you know, creates a lot of fucking problems, and has been creating a lot of the delays and shit. And, you know, they have to kind of work around a lot of his weird fucking shit, so... It's very complicated. Like, honestly, like, you know, one of these days I can, you know, like, you know, explain it to you in a little bit. At least in a layman's rundown. Paperwork's in the mail. Hey. Yeah, like, paperwork for all, you know, the different shit, you know, I guess, you know, from what I'm saying, it's all in the mail and stuff like that, so.
Peace, bitches! I gotta get to the bus.
Alright, catching the butt. Well, fine then, bitch.
Up yours.
Up yours, too. Love you! I gotta give him a little shit. But it hasn't arrived yet, and that's holding shit up like it's supposed to be here last week. Dude, that happens. When it comes to, like, paperwork like that, it basically, when it says it's supposed to arrive, like within a week or two after its estimated arrival. Ugh. But giant thick ass manila folder of paperwork. Just a chunk, a fucking unit of paperwork just in a fat folder. Love that shit. Should play hockey? Oh, hooky? Ferris Bueller's Day Off, bish. Honestly, if it's slow enough, we could probably unironically set up like a little thing to do hockey. Oh, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I've seen it like maybe 2 or 3 times ever, but honestly, I don't really remember too much of it. I know some of the references, but I don't really remember much because it's been a long time since I've seen it. Honestly, it's one of those movies I've been, you know, kind of wanting to rewatch. Try to, like, get back more and fresher in my memory. And so I do remember it being a good movie. But, well, Back to the Future. Oh, yeah. Back to the Future is a fucking great movie. But, anyway. Gonna head off to work and all that fun shizzle. Hey, little baby boy. Zuzu! No! Get back over here! What? Come here. Oh, you want to be here for the last little bit? Come on. Come here. Hey, little baby. Oh, my goodness. Yes, Zuzu. He's a good boy. Yes, it is. But anyway, I'll head off to work and all that fun shit, so. Little sweet Zuzu boy. Just being a cute boy. You're so cute. You're so cute. But anyway, peace out. Now I'll see y'all on the next one, so.